In an age of instant gratification, fast results, and overnight success stories, it is easy to feel discouraged when things do not work out immediately. But occasionally, a story comes along that shakes us awake, reminds us of the value of perseverance, and inspires us to keep going no matter how many times we fall. That is exactly what the life of Colonel Harlan Sanders, founder of KFC, does. Motivation beautifully captures the spirit of this remarkable man who repeatedly failed, only to rise up and create a brand recognized all around the world. His story is not just about fried chicken, it is about grit, passion, belief, and never giving up. Welcome to Luxo-Life, and today we will explore the life lessons hidden within Colonel Sanders' journey, reflecting on the ups and downs of his path to success. Through a summary of key moments, an analysis of the deeper messages behind his experiences, and a personal reflection on what his story means for all of us, we shall unpack why this video and this life continues to resonate with millions. This is 1,000 Failures, One Unstoppable Comeback, the true story of relentless grit, the early struggles, a life full of hardships. The story begins not in glory, but in hardship. Harlan Sanders was born in 1890 in Henryville, Indiana. His father died when he was just 6 years old, leaving his mother to work and forcing young Harlan to take care of his siblings and cook meals for them. It was in that humble kitchen that he first learned to cook, an experience that would shape his future, though he did not know it yet. Sanders dropped out of school in the 7th grade. He worked countless odd jobs to survive, from being a farmhand, a streetcar conductor, an insurance salesman, a railroad worker, and even a ferryboat operator. But none of these roles brought him lasting success. Most ended in disappointment. He was repeatedly fired, and more often than not, he found himself starting over from scratch. But even through all the instability and setbacks, one thing remained consistent: his unwavering tenacity. Sanders did not let failure define him. He kept moving forward, fueled by determination, even when every effort seemed to fall short. His journey is a powerful reminder that success is not always a straight path. It is often messy, filled with detours, delays, and disappointments. Sometimes it takes 100 wrong turns, countless rejections, and a heap of perseverance before we finally stumble upon the right one, the birth of the recipe, a dream in a pressure cooker. It was not until he was in his 40s that Sanders began to tap into his true passion: cooking. He opened a service station in Corbin, Kentucky, where he served meals to travelers out of the back of the building. People loved his food, especially his secret blend of herbs and spices, which he used to fry chicken in a pressure cooker. That method made his chicken crispier and faster to cook than traditional frying. Word spread quickly. What started as a modest little eatery blossomed into a full-fledged restaurant, drawing in travelers and locals alike. People came not just for the food, but for the man behind the counter, his passion, his charm, and his signature Southern cooking. In 1935, his growing influence and contributions to local cuisine earned him a special honor. The governor of Kentucky awarded him the title of Colonel, a recognition of both his culinary impact and community spirit. It seemed like everything was finally falling into place. But just as success began to take root, life, unpredictable as ever, had other plans. Rejection after rejection. Over 1,000 no's. When a new interstate highway diverted traffic away from Corbin, Sanders' restaurant lost its customers. He was forced to close the business and was left with barely sufficient money to survive. Most people would have seen this as the end of the road, but not Sanders. At 65 years old, with just $105 in Social Security checks and a heart full of belief in his recipe, he hit the road. He started traveling from town to town, knocking on doors of restaurants, trying to convince owners to franchise his fried chicken. And then came the rejections. According to legend, Colonel Sanders was rejected 1,009 times before he got his first yes. Think about that, over 1,000 people said no. He was laughed at, dismissed, ignored, and told he was too old. but each time he got back up. Each rejection became a stepping stone instead of a stop sign. It was not just determination, it was obsession with his dream. That is where the magic of his story lies. Not in the eventual success, but in the unrelenting belief that his idea had value, and that he had value even when no one else thought so. The turning point, a bucket of gold. Finally, one restaurant owner agreed to try out his chicken. And just like that, the spark caught fire. His franchise model grew. One by one, restaurants started carrying his recipe. The red and white KFC brand began to spread across the country. Within a decade, Colonel Sanders had hundreds of franchises under his belt. In 1964, at age 73, he sold the Kentucky Fried Chicken Corporation for $2 million, equivalent to about $18 million today, staying on as a brand ambassador with his iconic white suit and goatee. It took him decades of failure, rejection, and reinvention, but he did it. The man who had nothing but a dream and a recipe built an empire that still thrives to this day. Reflection, what we can learn from Colonel Sanders? Colonel Sanders' story is more than just an inspiring underdog tale. It holds powerful life lessons that apply to anyone chasing a goal, whether it is starting a business, building a career, or pursuing a passion. 1. It's never too late. Sanders did not find success until his mid-60s. That completely shatters the myth that dreams have an expiration date. In fact, his age gave him the patience and perspective to stay focused. You are never too old to chase your purpose. 2. Rejection is not the end. Imagine getting rejected 1,009 times. Most of us would give up after 10. But Sanders understood something vital. Rejection is not personal. It is just part of the process. Each no got him closer to the yes that would change everything. 3. Resilience is more important than talent. Sanders was not a genius inventor or a celebrity chef. He was a man with an average background who outworked and outlasted his obstacles. He did not have everything, but he made the most of what he did have. That is what made the difference. 4. Believe in what you're offering. Even when no one else believed in him, Sanders believed in his chicken. He knew it was good. He knew people would love it. That confidence paired with his persistence made others believe too. If you do not believe in your own vision, no one else will. Analysis? Why the story still moves people today. Videos like, he failed 1,000 times, go viral because people need hope. We live in a world where setbacks feel like stop signs, where one bad grade, one failed interview, or one slow launch makes us doubt our worth. But Sanders' story flips that script. It tells us that failure is not final. In fact, it is necessary. The video uses powerful visuals, music, and pacing to build momentum and emotional resonance. It does not just inform, it uplifts. It reminds us that greatness often comes wrapped in struggle and that persistence beats perfection. And more than that, it connects to something deeply human, the desire to matter, to create, to be remembered. Sanders did not just sell chicken. He built a legacy. Conclusion, the legacy of the man in white. Today, KFC operates in over 150 countries with thousands of outlets. The Colonel's face is recognized worldwide, and his white suit and black tie are symbols not just of a brand, but of an unbreakable spirit. But what makes this story truly powerful is not how many buckets of chicken he sold, it is how many times he refused to give up. Harlan Sanders was not born successful. He was not handed an empire, nor did he stumble upon overnight fame. He failed again and again. Businesses collapsed. Opportunities slipped through his fingers. Doors closed more times than he could count. But through it all, he kept showing up. He kept knocking, even when no one answered. He kept believing, even when the world gave him every reason not to. His story teaches us something powerful. You do not need to be the smartest in the room, the youngest with fresh ideas, or the richest with endless resources. You just need to be the one who does not quit, the one who holds on a little longer, the one who keeps going when everyone else gives up. So the next time you are feeling stuck, defeated, or like you have missed your chance, remember this. You are not too old. You're not too far behind. And sometimes all it takes is one yes to flip your whole life around. All you need is belief, persistence, and maybe, just maybe, a secret recipe worth sharing with the world. What's a lifelong dream that you are yet to achieve? Tell us down below in the comments. And if you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe for more educational and inspirational content.